For 6 hours this morning, southern Britain was battered by the worst storms the nation has known for nearly 3 centuries.
Dozens of people have died after hurricane-force winds swept across southern England.
One of the worst hit areas was Kent, where 7 people are thought to have died.
The dawn also revealed the true cost of the storm. 19 people dead, £1 billion of damage and destruction. 1 in 6 householders in the southeast will submit an insurance claim.
It wasn't until I switched on the radio in the morning that I heard of the palaver of everything. People couldn't get anywhere. And then I realized, you know, we were in bad trouble. Bad trouble.
Earlier on today, apparently, a woman rang the BBC and said she heard that there was a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't. But having said that, actually, the weather will become very windy, but most of the strong winds, incidentally, will be down over Spain and across into France.
Because of the late autumn and weeks of torrential rain, the trees, still in leaf and waterlogged, were vulnerable to the wind. 90% of the forestation of southern England was destroyed. 15 million trees flattened.
People are upset by the loss of the trees because they're like neighbours, they're friends, they're with us all the time.
I was absolutely shell-shocked. The place I grew up was typified by tall, graceful beech trees towering over everything. And then suddenly, not only were they gone, not only was it open, but they were jagged. They were like sort of shrapnel, these jags of broken tree everywhere. And so it was a really painful, wreck-looking landscape. And I just burst into tears. Still, if I think about it, it just feels like a death. It felt like something had gone forever and you knew it at once.
There was something apocalyptic about the deserted streets of London that Friday morning. And this paralysis would have consequences in the city that no one could have foreseen.
I was in London living in Downing Street and was staggered in the morning to find a totally silent London, which you don't expect. I mean, London's a very, very noisy place with all the traffic. But there was no traffic at all, because the roads were strewn with trees and overturned cars and so on as a result of this huge storm.
But your weather forecast at midnight last night talks about a rather windy, showery airflow, blustering bursts of showery rain. No kidding. I mean, if you can't forecast the worst storms for several centuries 3 hours before they happen, what are you doing?